Now, personally, I don't have an introduction, so we're just gonna freestyle it. This is Octavia TayTay, one of my old friends from New York. All right, she still look as young as possible. So I mean, that's the introduction. So all right. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Um, I just turned 33. I'm the oldest of four siblings. Out of four children, I'm the oldest. Was raised a church girl. What else I can say about me? I'm quiet, but I'm very observant. Once I get around certain people, once I feel you and get to know you, I'm like comfortable and I'm stuck with you. I like to do a lot of research, read. I haven't read in a minute, but back then I used to love reading books. I have a thing of writing like long paragraph stories, whatever. I love to laugh. I love to watch like silly videos, whatnot. Like to go out with friends sometimes. It's been a minute, but when we get time to catch up, we catch up.
Yo, why is it
And
always
also,
the
I am a
quiet
mom.
ones? Oh, I'm sorry.
Huh? Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
why is it always the quiet ones like have the best personalities? Though? Like, is it because you guys are very observant? Because I'm quiet too. I don't say much at all, but I know I'm very cool at the same time. So I mean, is it just because we're very observant and we like don't talk without it having some sort of substance to it?
Maybe I never thought of it like that. The quiet ones have a good personality. That's a shocker because I never really thought of it like that. I think when I see personalities, when it comes to personalities, everybody's personality is different. So I never looked at it like, oh, he's quiet, so a lot of quiet people have good personalities, or he's taller, so a lot of taller people have good personalities. I never looked at personalities like that because personalities is so broad. So I never thought of it like my personality is good because I'm quiet. I didn't think of it. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you're very observant too. So that's why I was saying like,
Yeah,
usually people that are more quiet are more focused on their surroundings at the same time. They don't let their energy out like just right away. They make sure they're comfortable wherever they're at. Just like how you said, like when you're around certain people or whatever, like and they have a good vibe, that's when you come out.
Yeah, I think it's more like I could just say for myself personally, I think and you could agree with me if you can. I think it's more of like a defense mechanism or like a comfort. So it's for me personally, I observe more compared to being just socially out there and just like, hey, I'm this and that. I look and observe because I want to watch who I'm going to be around. I watch my surroundings to make sure, okay, is this what I want in my circle? Is this who I want to hang around? This is who I want to talk to. So I kind of like put myself in a pre-protection mode. So I don't know if that goes for everybody that's observant, but I know for me, that's what I do. Before I select friends or who I want to associate with, even if it's coworker wise or relationship wise, I observe everything before I could just fully give myself to you, because I can't fully give myself to everybody. A lot of people don't know who I actually am, because each person, if I'm around my coworkers, my friends, family, each of those groups see a different side of it, because each group can bring out a different side of a person. And that's how I see it. So, yeah.
But I'll tell you this: you told me that you did not a complete 180, but you started opening up more about your life and how you develop certain situations and all that. So, would you say that you're that introvert now that you're trying to bring your story out?
Yes. But because of that reason, I was very closed in person, very well. Let me not say very. I was shy growing up, even in school. I think one time I got called a teacher's pet.
I can see that.
I think it was like third grade. I must have got called a teacher's pet. I gotta ask my mom. I'm not sure, but it was because I was so quiet. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be in no mix. I didn't want to be in no trouble. I just wanted to do whatever, get my good grades, whatever. But not realizing, um, it made me be. It made me. I was that way for so long. Even out of like high school, I was still that way. But it's crazy because a lot of people would not see me as an introvert. A lot of people that actually get to know me, some people would feel like, oh, you're very, like, they'll think I'm a social butterfly. And I'm like, they'd be like, oh, you know so many people, or you know this person, you're a social butterfly. And I'm like, I'd rather stay at home in my bed, watch movies, and call it a night. That's me. But I've realized that me being so closed in and keeping a lot of my thoughts, feelings inside for so many years, I didn't know it actually made me, I actually caused trauma to myself basically by doing that, because now when I have to go into
I'm listening.
when I have to go into like let's say, if I have to go into like the workforce, networking, I'm gonna lose out because me being so closed in, nobody's like, well, she's not bringing nothing forth, she's not opening, she's not this, so we're just gonna walk away, and not realizing I've lost so many opportunities along the way because I decided to just stay closed in. I decided to not talk as much. I decided to not express myself as much. I'll be honest, I haven't started being, I kind of slowly stopped being an introvert probably 2 years ago now, where I just started trying to express my feelings. Not say how it is, but be more open-minded, be more forward. Because I'm not a forward person. I'm not the type of person back then to be a leader in the group. I'm more of like, I'll just stay in the middle so I could blend in. Nobody picks me. I don't want to be picked. Just let me stay in the middle. But me now, I'm trying to be like, no, I want to be the leader. I want to be the teacher. I want to be the head. And realizing doing that now. And it's funny because I'm the oldest sibling. And you would think I would act like a leader. I'm really not like the leader in my sibling group. And me doing that now as trying to step out of my comfort zone or out of the shell that I always take comfort in. At first, it was challenging and it was like, okay, I want to go back in. But I also felt a feeling of relief. Like, wait, Octavia, this is something new. This feels different. It feels weird, but it feels different, but it feels good. And I'm still in the process of learning that side of me that I kept closed in for like so many years.
Okay. So would you consider yourself an extrovert now, or are you just in between? As in, you still stay to yourself, but you have the story to tell at the moment?
I would say probably in between because, like I said, I still have my moments where I stay closed in because I'm learning how to talk a certain way and how to do certain dialogues with certain people. So I would say I'm probably in between.
Because I'll tell you this, if you come out with this podcast, because mind you, she's been telling me this story is on point. And like her podcast, if her podcast really come out, she's going to have to be an extrovert because there's going to be a bunch of people asking her certain questions, basically. So is that the reason why you started asserting yourself, because you've been through certain stuff that you were telling me like the other day?
Yes. So I think how can I say this? I think not only for what I've been through or what I've dealt with or endured, um, I think when a certain drastic situation took a hit, it was like I had time to, how do I say it? Sorry, I'm cold.
You
I had
cold?
time, yeah, I'm cold. I get colds. It's a,
Oh, so,
I had time to actually have a time to myself. So meaning like I didn't have I'm a mom to my son. So I didn't have my son. I didn't have my partner. I didn't have no family. I didn't have no friends. Nobody. Just me in the house by myself with my thoughts. And your thoughts can take control of you, but it's you that have to know how to control it. And within that time that I had that time by myself, sorry if it sounds like I'm shivering, it's just because I'm cold. I'm not trying to cry, okay? Just letting you know that.
I mean, you can cry. Go ahead. It's gonna.
No. But I think within that time, I was by myself, and, it made me realize a lot of things that I endured that I didn't fully see all the way. And that's when, of course, the drastic situation that took place in my life this year, I wasn't going to talk about it or anything. I was just like, all right, you know what? This is a card that has dealt with my life. I'm just going to have to maneuver in this new path. But kept thinking about it. And I was talking with somebody, an older lady, and she said, you have a story to tell. And she says, you never know, your story might inspire somebody or it might help somebody. Like, we always don't know what can help the other person. Even if I just sit there and come to you and be like, hey, thank you. Thank you for the day, or, this and that, et cetera, et cetera. And just certain words, when you tell people, we don't know what can that do for a person for the rest of their life. So I just said, you know what? I'm in a space now where I'm just like, Octavia, go and get it. This is what you want to do it. I put myself behind for so many years. I won't say sacrifice, but I've stopped myself from a lot of things I wanted to do. And now it's like, as I look at it, as I just turned 33, I look at 33 as a new life for me. And it's just time for me to just get up and go. So I just felt like, you know what? Now when people talk to me, they ask me questions, this and that, I just tell them like, yeah, this is what happened. They're like, wait, what? You don't look like you've been through that and this and that and so and so. And I'm like, yep, I did it. Yeah, I went through it. So it's a process. I'm still working with it, but yeah.
Okay. So let me see. Now the battery is running low. God damn. But so what would be your goal now? Like, now that you hit 33, basically, do you still have the same goals that you had that you couldn't do back in the day because you were so blocked to doing certain stuff?
So no, I still have those same goals.
Okay.
I am in the process of pursuing some of those goals and some new goals as well. So no, even though I stopped myself, because I can't blame nobody for stopping my goals. And I don't think nobody could blame anybody. You can only blame yourself. So because I still have an opportunity, I'm still here alive. Why can I not go and get it and do it? So I'm still going to prosper those goals that I had put on the back burner.
What's your 3 main goals right now?
Stability,
Okay.
financially stable. Well, stability in finances, mentally and physically. Um, try to be the best mom I could be to my kid. Um, and also spread kindness, love to others in the world. And let people know that, it's okay to not look the same or be like others because we are all born to be different. And once I'm stable mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, and spiritually, everything will align for me. So my biggest thing right now is stability.
So where would you start with that? Like, what's the first thing you need to do to get into that next level of stability?
So what I started doing is I started to eliminate certain things that I used to do, meaning talking a lot on the phone with some of my friends or peers, gossiping, um, stop doing certain activities, or try to remove myself from certain negativity things. Because especially, I'm sorry, I'm cold. Give me one moment. I
Like,
gotta.
it's gonna be cut off. It's not gonna be on the podcast.
I'm sorry. I'm just really. I get cold fast, so sorry.
Oh no, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's like it's almost winter time, ain't it? So I mean, we are.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, we were talking about like the steps of getting back into stability, basically, like mentally, physically, financially, whatever. So is that why you're opening up, because you believe that this thing took a toll on your life so bad to a point where it stagnated your growth?
Um. Well, when the situation hit, I realized how much it stagnated my growth, or how much I was going through that my growth was just so below level in my perspective or my opinion. And I don't know, I can't really pinpoint when and how, but it was like a burst of something that just came out where it's like, Octavia, you need to speak. You need to talk. You need to open your mouth. And little by little, I started working on myself first. And then I'm not going to say I'm fully there yet, but I'm in process.
So do you mind telling everybody the situation that put you in this position?
So, um,
Did you freeze? She froze like a mother. All right, so boom. This is Octavia. I guess it's gonna be the commercial or whatever. So y'all need to follow her podcast. It's coming real soon, but she have like a deep story to tell, and she is going to teach the world about the shit that she talk about. But it's a dope story. It's like a really dope story. You froze.
oh, I didn't. You was frozen.
You was frozen.
I was. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. So, basically, I had a partner 14 years now. 14 years now. This November makes 14 years. We met on, dang, what was that? Tag.
Tag.
We
What was
met.
that?
So Tag was like a what is it, like a dating website or something like that back in the days. So we met on Tag. I never was the type to, so I was never was the type to go on dating websites. I never really dated much people. I had a very strict dad, so yeah.
I know
Um,
her dad. Like, yeah, so I heard
it,
about
but on Tag and at that time, yeah. So when I had a Tag account, I wasn't on it as much because in that time frame I had a boyfriend. Um, I had a boyfriend. He was in Virginia, so that relationship was a long distance relationship. And this guy, I'm not gonna say no names. Um, this guy hit me up and he was like, "Hey, beautiful, what you doing on here?" Blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, this is an old account. I mean, I don't be on here like that." And he was like, "So what did he ask?" He was like, "So do you have a boyfriend?" And I was like, "I got a boyfriend." I actually said, I was like, "I actually have a boyfriend." I didn't want to lie or nothing. And he was like, "You got a boyfriend?" He was like, "I hope he's treating you good." And I was like, "He is." And he said, "Okay." And I think we just like sealed it off. I'm not sure how it went. I think he said, "Hopefully when I hit you up next time, you don't have a boyfriend," or something like that. He said, I don't know. It was something. I don't know. I kid you not, I didn't pay it any mind because I was in a relationship. And the long distance relationship that I had, um, we broke it off. Long story short, I he did like a butt dial, like you butt dial somebody or something. And when his phone called me, long story short, oh, you're muted.
a butt down.
Yeah, so like I don't know, I call it a butt dial. But like let's say you're the last person I called and my phone accidentally calls you, like
A butt dial. Okay, I got you.
so his phone accidentally called me. Mind you, I was in college and I had a math midterm. I would never forget this day because I actually failed my midterm. And he called me. It was like after 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, hello, hello. But I'm sleeping. So I'm like, okay, blah, blah. But then I hear a girl in the background. So I wake up and I'm like, wait, huh? And long story short, I kind of heard him cheating on me in the car.
So they were.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I think that kind of like the feeling I felt with that, I don't know what that feeling was, but it felt like if I had an out of body experience because I've never thought I would ever experience that. Mm-hmm. It was like, and then when I kept calling him. I guess his phone died. I don't know. And when I approached him about it the next day or 2 days after, he tried to deny it. And he was like he tried to deny it and like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I was home, blah, blah. And I'm like, sir, I heard you bang, bang, choo choo train in your car. And it's a certain TLC song that played. And every time I hear that song, I get flashbacks. Wow. Even to this day, I get flashbacks. So it's so funny because the guy that hit me up on Tag, right? Not saying I didn't pay attention to him, whatever. I hit up one of my good friends, and I was like, let me go back on there. Let me see if there's something out there. I don't know, just whatever. A whole month later, he hit me back up again. And he was like, wow, I didn't know I was talking to a beautiful girl like you on here, whatever, blah, blah. And we talk about blah. We exchange numbers. The first time we met was Thanksgiving. So that's why we call that our anniversary, because that was the first time we actually physically met each other. I think I was at my grandparents' house. Mm-hmm. My aunt had Thanksgiving. and he didn't live far from me in Brooklyn, and he walked all the way over there just to come and see me. And I never was the type to be into. I'm not trying to be racist. I wasn't really into a lot of light skinned guys because of
No,
because
go ahead.
I wasn't really into a lot of light skinned guys because of the whole they think they this, they that. I just didn't have time for it. So I was always into more browner, darker guys. He was more of an fair skin, lighter than me. Maybe like your complexion. Yeah, I think you have complexion.
Light skin, yeah.
So when I seen him, I was just like, I think that was my first time, if that's what you call it, is butterflies. That's what I felt.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, cool. And yeah, we started talking, and that relation, yeah, we was talking, we learned about each other. And because we was living so close, it was such an easy target, like, hey, I'm coming this way, we can meet up here, blah, blah. And then at first, when we met up more often, I was in hair school at this time. And it's funny because where I was going to hair school, where he was going to work at wasn't far, like 2 train stops away, I think he said. So I was like, okay, so he will usually come pick me up at hair school and we take the train together to go home and go our separate ways. At first, I thought he was weird because he used to tell me like he was an atheist or something. Either he said atheist or Buddhist or something like that. And his favorite color was black. I thought it was weird because I grew up in a Christian household.
Okay, yeah.
And I think I remember I told my mom, I was like, this guy said I think he said Buddhist, something he said. I was just like, yeah, that's weird. But I never judged him. That's what I didn't do. I didn't judge him. I didn't look at him like, oh, hell no, I can't be with him. I didn't.
You just called him weird, though. That's a judgment.
Like, yeah, like weird, but like, okay. So it wasn't like
you didn't say because he was weird, I'm not gonna deal with him. See, like everything is a judge. You have to judge everything.
That's true. Yes, that's true. But you know what I'm thinking it is? Some people would see, oh, that's a red flag, I gotta dip. I guess that's what I'm saying. I didn't see it as like a red flag where it's like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta just, nope, he's not it. He's crazy. He's weird. Nope, I'm leaving. No, I didn't see it like that. I just saw him like, okay, this is totally different for what I'm used to. But I continued to stay. Sorry about that. It's my kid.
Oh, no, you good. You good. Yeah.
So after a while, we hanging until the point where we got so close. It was to the point where I think at that time I was living with my grandmother. It'll be 10 o'clock at night. I'll be like, hey, are you busy? Okay, I'm walking up there right now. Meet me halfway to go to the corner store. I want a sandwich. Like, we was that close. We was like a peanut butter jelly, yin yang. You couldn't tell us nothing. There was time we would just go out like, it's 12 o'clock. I'm like, there was this favorite spot we like. Well, I liked. I just want him to come with me. It was called 123 Burger. And it was open 24/7 before the pandemic. And I'd be like, he'll be like, I don't got no money. I'm like, all right, let's go. I got it. Come on, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Like, when I say we did everything, we did everything. So fortunately, not unfortunately. So eventually we became so close. We was like, I would call him my best friend. So there was a time we made it official as boyfriend and girlfriend because of how close we was and how it was like, wow, this is so, this is it. And from what he told me, we broke it off. Well, he broke it up with me because there was a time I went to my friend's house and her mom was outside. And she's like, oh, Octavia, that's your boyfriend? She's Caribbean. And I was like, I don't know, blah, blah. So he heard it. And he took that as, oh, I'm not her boyfriend. Okay, we're done.
Well, what did you tell her though?
But I told her, no, that's not my boyfriend.
Oh,
But then
okay.
I eventually told her, like, yes, that's my boyfriend. We just started dating. And he took it as, no, you said we're not together. We just started dating probably like 2 days ago. I don't know what it was. And he just said, no, we're not. We can't be together. So I was like, all right, cool. But we said
Hold
we'll
on, you
stay.
said good. Okay, y'all were peanut butter and jelly, but the moment he said y'all can't be together, you said, all right.
Well, no, I didn't say I felt a way about it because I was just like, I didn't really mean it like that. I was like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. We was just, joking, playing, whatever. He's like, no, you meant it like that or whatever. So, I don't know how, I think we stopped talking for a little bit. I think, yeah, we stopped talking for a little bit because he was in school as well. So we stopped talking for a little bit. And then, eventually we came back again together. I don't know how that happened, but we came back together as friends. We went out again, hang out, and clicked back like nothing ever happened.
Friends.
Eventually, it became friends with benefits.
Yeah,
So,
that's how it goes.
yes. So when a lot of people be like, "Oh, that's your boyfriend," and I'm like, "Oh no, I say that's my best friend." That's what we both said. Actually, we just put it as this is my best friend.
Best friends that y'all were doing the same thing that y'all were doing when y'all were in a relationship. Okay.
Basic, yeah. So anything you could think of that that you'll do in a legitimate relationship, we was doing. We just never put a title on it. We just kept saying we were best friends. So, dang, it's been so long. So, yeah, so that's how we always had our relationship. Eventually, it started becoming toxic. Not realizing us saying that we were best friends was actually, we were actually making this toxic because he had relationships with other females. Would I say that I was upset and I felt away? Yes, I can sit here and say that I was upset, I felt away, because guess what? When I'm close to somebody, it don't matter who it is, family, friends, whoever. Like if I'm close to you, and I see you're getting close to somebody else, I'm bothered.
Thanks.
It's like, wait, who's this new person? Why are they here?
Thanks.
I don't like
because I feel like they're pushing some of that energy away from you.
Right.
Giving them and everything. So I feel that.
Right. So he had relationships with other females. I couldn't really do anything because, we weren't in a relationship. We were just friends. But now as I'm understanding now, sorry, I'm getting cold again. Now that I'm understanding now, the reason why I was feeling the way I was feeling is because of the physical altercations we had. That's what made it toxic, because we mixed friendship and relationship, and it's not supposed to be that way.
Right.
So,
okay, wait, hold on. You said we can't mix friendship and relationship.
Well, how we did it, we mixed as if we was a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
But we were not a boyfriend and girlfriend. We were supposed to be best friends without any physical touching or, excessive emotion as if we're in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Okay.
Because what happened was there's girls that's into him and there's guys that's into me, but they're like, the guys is like, well, how can I talk with you? But you have this guy that's your best friend and y'all doing this, y'all doing that. You sure that's your best friend? And you know what I'm saying? So there was times we broke off our relationship because we saw like this is getting too toxic. He wanted to be, or pursue a relationship. So within a time frame, I never really pursued anybody because, like my friends would say, all I talked about was him. I would always call and be like, so what do you think if I do this? Like, what if I do that? And they'd be like, Octavia, why don't you go out and date? Why don't you go talk to somebody new? He's dating somebody, y'all was just friends. But I got so attached to him because, not everybody's perfect, but the type of person he was and how we were together, it was like, that was like my Gina that was like my Martin to my Gina. That's how it was for me. Like, I didn't see nobody else, nothing.
But what made him that way? Like, what made you guys so close? What about him made you two guys click so strong, I guess?
I think what I still love about it is the way we have our talks. Like, we could talk. Like, if he's sitting next to me right now, we can talk about anything for probably 5 hours straight, and we would have to find a way to stop ourselves because we could just talk all day long. And we could like share secrets. You could actually be yourself and not feel, okay, I'm being judged or I'm looked at different. We just felt like each other. Like, we found somebody for both of us. We found somebody that we can be who we are, that certain family members may not see us as, or certain friends may not see us as. We found that niche where it's like, oh, Tay and so, this is it. This is like, yo, I can't feel that with nobody else. I can't get that with this one. I could only get it with you. And it's something that it didn't come overnight. We actually built it that way, I would say, by learning more. We actually learned each other compared to like, okay, when you're in a relationship, like you finding a girlfriend, boyfriend is more on a intimacy level and romance level, right? With us, it was not like that. We didn't start like that. Like, even though he hit me up in my inbox, whatever, blah, blah, we just automatically hit it off better as friends. But we were still physically attracted to each other very strongly. But it wasn't, of course, me as a female, I have emotions. Yes, I took it and I looked at it in a different light, like, wait, all the checks mark off. Maybe, this actually could work. But after a while, I just pushed it away and was like, oh yeah, that's my, I just kept it at like, yeah, that's my best friend. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's my guy. So
but like, even when you said, like, when y'all just met, you said you had butterflies. So don't you think it was like a spiritual connection first, and then all that stuff just came afterwards? Because in the beginning, you said you had butterflies when you first met. So you didn't know that y'all was going to have that much of a connection, or you chose that connection because of them butterflies that you had?
No. So I didn't know it was a spiritual connection. I'll be honest. Back at that time, my spiritual side wasn't really fully there. So I never thought of it as a spiritual connection back then.
But this is the first time you had butterflies, though.
Right. But I never thought of it like, oh, this is a spiritual connection. I just thought of it like, oh, maybe this is what do we call it? Your soulmate. That's what they call it. Yes, like your soulmate or something like that. That's what. So when I thought of it like that, I was like, oh, maybe this is my soulmate. But I thought of it in the beginning like, okay, this is the guy, whatever. But eventually, it just never went that route. It just went in a route like, this is fun. Like this is a good friend to have around. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, because every time like me and him tried to explain it, it just didn't, I don't know, it didn't come off the way how it's supposed to. I guess it was like our own dialect. Like only literally me and him only understand it. Because it was so hard to explain it to people. Because people be like, so you were this, and we'd be like, no, we were just this. That was it. Like we went on vacations together. Hey, let's take random trips together. We went on our first trip to Bahamas. People was like, oh, a lot of people was upset. But people thought like a lot of my homeboys was like, oh, you know, you guys had intercourse or whatever. And I said, I'm be honest, we didn't do nothing. Literally, we actually had the best time learning each other, exploring new things. I learned to ride a bike. Like we learned a different level of each other. And it was just that type of intimacy between us was like, whoa, it made it seem like if we could do this, we could do anything together. The fact that we didn't need intimacy on a vacation, it just opened up a different level for us.
Weird question. You mean bike as in bicycle?
Yeah. I didn't know how to ride a bike.
Okay, that's pretty. I rock with it. I mean, I rock with that. But the reason why I keep saying the whole the spiritual side is because I know when I want to love somebody, I make sure I make excuses for every other thing. Just like how you said he was an atheist. Like your family wouldn't agree with that. Like, so if it was any other atheist, would you choose them? Or would you just judge them or prejudge them and just walk away?
I wouldn't if it was somebody else, I wouldn't judge them. I'll do the same thing where I'll be like, okay, this is weird, or but I wouldn't judge them and say, yeah, I don't want you because we don't align. Because I'll just say this. At that time, I was young, but I didn't really pay attention as we're spiritually aligning. Even though I felt the butterflies and stuff, right? I just took it as, in my head, I'm like, butterflies mean this is my soulmate. This is somebody that I'm supposed to be with. So not everybody feels butterflies with everybody. But let's say if I felt butterflies with somebody else and it wasn't him, I wouldn't judge them because let's say they atheist and my home is Christian. That's why I went to my mother and I was like, hey, this guy's atheist, but I really like him. You know, he's cool. He's down to earth. And I don't want it to seem like, well, I can't date you because you're atheist or because you're different from me. I don't think like that. Like if you tell me, unless it's something where it's going to interfere with both of our beliefs, then that's something we would have to talk on. But if it was no, I wouldn't judge. I wouldn't say, no, we can't be together or we can't talk. We could probably be, if our beliefs, because there's certain people's beliefs where it's like, oh, we can't do that. I'll be like, okay, cool, but we'll still stay friends. I wouldn't judge you and say, oh, ew, okay, whatever. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, well. Yeah, so you said you've been with him for 15 years now, right?
14?
14 years. So do you still have that same feeling for him at the moment?
Yep. I don't think it will go away.
You don't think it will go away ever? Do you have that same feeling for you right now?
Probably. I can't speak for him. I can only speak for myself at the moment.
But you can also look at his actions too, like when he is around you.
So at the moment, at the moment, he is not around. So I can't, like I said, I can't really speak on what's his feelings now at the moment. Before, Um, yeah, I know he loved me, but as of right now, I can't really speak on what he feels for me per se as right now because we do not really talk about that at the moment.
Oh, okay, okay. You have a podcast coming up right now.
Yeah.
What would you say that podcast is about?
So, my podcast is a shirt I have on.
Facts. It's a dope shirt.
It's called the Silent Rank Podcast Channel. It's a podcast for. So I'm a military spouse. Been for 4 years, and it was a very, it was a very new experience for me, and being in the military, I thought of, oh, this is this is exciting. I get to meet new friends, blah blah. But I hear the whole cliche of, oh, you a military spouse? Oh, you get all the benefits. Oh, you good girl. Oh, you don't got nothing to worry about. You don't live that civilian life no more. That's how it was portrayed. Mind you, this was just thrown at me. So I'm just when I say new, I'm practically new baby in this military lifestyle. And literally, I'm from New York, Brooklyn, New York. I moved from my family and everything that I know all the way to the west side of Texas, El Paso, with all the Mexicans and all literally by the border of Mexico. Don't know nothing out there, nothing. And I was like, dang, this is different. And me moving, I was excited because I like to take risks. I like adventurous stuff, but I didn't know the risk that I actually took by being a spouse. So my channel is basically, it's not to bash the military. I'm gonna just say that right now. I don't have any issues with the military because I wasn't a soldier. The podcast is for spouses, and this is for male spouses and women spouses because there is male spouses that stay at home and their wife is a soldier. Um, I've seen things, I've heard a lot of things that a lot of spouses go through, as in you have the main thing, your soldier gets deployed for 9 months to a year, maybe or so. A lot of these spouses are in a whole different state, probably 32, 60 miles away from home. There's nowhere, you have family, you have no friends, you have nothing. Because sometimes when you're on a base and you don't know anybody, you're literally by yourself. And the main person you came out there with is not there. They're gone for 9 months straight. And then let's say if you have children and this is their dad, it's like, where's daddy? When's mommy coming home? And as a spouse, you got to deal with that. You got to, you got to work. You got to go to school. You got to make sure that it's a lot. Then also, you have spouses that actually go through what I've been hearing a lot of domestic violence. Um, Other violences, you got emotional, physical, financially, a lot of things that a lot of people don't see in the military spouse lifestyle. They just feel like it's all sparkles and glitter over here. Some people have it like that. And I'm not going to say that goes for everybody. There's some spouses that's like, I love being a spouse. I love this. There's some that don't have that same impact. So, and within the military lifestyle, as a spouse, we don't have a voice, if that makes sense. Because they're like, oh, you just a spouse. We only sponsor the soldiers. Like, we have to call our spouse, that's my sponsor. So, like, my husband is my sponsor. I can't really do much unless it's under my sponsor. So I just felt like I called it the silent rank only because we're so silent. Nobody hears outside of what goes on as a spouse in the military. And I felt like to give spouses, male, female, a platform where they can open up, speak about it, and feel like they could release something out to say, this is what we actually go through, so that civilians can understand it's not only just because we're in the military lifestyle, we get benefits. We have it amazing. We have it great. No, we don't. So that's what my platform is about. Just, telling people the other side of what they don't really hear.
Facts. Can I tell you this? Speaking of domestic violence, I remember getting my ass a bunch of times by a bunch of women that wasn't in the military. So, and I couldn't say anything because whenever I told my friends, they just laugh at me. So,
that's crazy.
What would be the difference between like being a regular civilian in the relationship and being a military spouse in the relationship, when usually it's always one person that usually have a say so in certain situations?
Like, what would be the difference as a civilian?
Yeah, because like I've been through domestic violence or whatever. Like I said, I got beat up. I got like rocks thrown at me and all that. So I mean, and like I said, whenever I say something, like, oh, you a man, just fight back. And I can't fight back because that's a woman, right? So it comes to a point where I think a lot of people do have to stay silent because nobody's allowed to listen. So I'm trying to figure out what would be the difference between like a military spouse and a regular person that don't have a say so in anything.
There's no difference. It's the same. That's the thing. A lot of people see that. I think that's the thing. A lot of people see because you're a military spouse, it's different. We're still going to experience the same thing as a civilian marriage or a civilian relationship. Just because we have a title on it doesn't mean like we're all golden. No, we still go through the same thing Tom, Dick, and Harry go through, or Tina, Lisa, and Simone go through in the civilian world. We go through this, literally the same thing. It's just that because of certain boundaries in the military, from what I hear, a lot of spouses don't want to say or talk. Let's say if there is like domestic violence, right? A lot of spouses don't want to go up and tell, because you can go and tell your spouse higher ups, I'm going through this domestic violence situation, I'm going through this. But a lot of spouses don't want to come up and say anything. They just stay, like I said, silent because of some soldiers can get in trouble. Some soldiers can lose their job, and then you're the blame for, oh, you the one that made me lose my job. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only difference, I guess. But I don't feel like that's different because I do see other people in the civilian world that are silent that goes through domestic violence. Or I don't want to stick to only domestic violence, but just any type of trauma that they've gone through. There's some people in the civilian world that are silent as well. So not only am my main purpose is for the spouse and military, but I do invite other, civilians, married people that feel like they can relate as well.
Like you have like a very powerful voice for one. Like you definitely have a very powerful voice. But if that voice come out and you're exposing the way the military treat their spouses, do you think the military is going to like be spiteful towards you?
So that's the thing. I'm not trying to, like, when I started my first episode, I did disclose that this is not me bashing the military. This is not me disclosing any harm that this is what the military do. Because like I had stated, there are some good parts of being a spouse. It's not always all ugly. There's some spouses that don't experience the ugly side of being a spouse, if I should say.
But that's why I mentioned about you having a powerful voice, because if you bring your voice out there's going to be people that follow you that want to bash the military base because they have a gateway to what you're teaching. So what if it like all trickles back down to you, as in they put your name into certain stuff or whatever, and they talk bad about the military. They do certain stuff. Because like I heard like a bunch of stories about the military myself. I'm not trying to bash them at all either, but I know there's like a lot of stories that goes on that people do stay silent. So I do agree with you. So what if somebody is actually open to tell them stories and then put your name into it?
Well, they could put my name in it because, you know, if I'm already speaking on it, I can't just pull it back because, you know, once it's on social media, that's it. They could retrieve it back. But like I stated, because I've already been in the military, I know there's certain things I can't say. There's certain things I cannot disclose. So that's why I put it as a platform where it's not that we're bashing the military or we're bashing saying, don't become a military spouse. Don't do it. It's not for every. No, I'm not telling you that. What I'm doing is telling civilians that don't try to treat us as if we're always all golden and it's all glitter over here, as if that's what we piss. We piss glitter. We don't piss glitter all the time. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But because we don't say anything, that's why a lot of people feel like, oh yeah, you piss glitter. Yeah, they're good. They're straight. You don't know that because we don't talk about it. So I'm learning. I'm still in the process of learning is what to say and what not to say, what to disclose and what not to disclose, just for my protection purposes and for military, because of course, you know, certain allegations or whatever. So it's not a platform where I'm gonna sit here and say, yep, all you guys come over here to Tay's platform where we're gonna sit here and just say, do a riot and say, don't be a spouse for the military. No, because I have friends that is in the military, their spouses, and they are, you know, they have an opposite story. So the platform is going to have other guest speakers where they're talking about their love experience in the, you know, the military. Like there's also spouses that have to deal with their soldier having a terminal illness. You know what I'm saying? And certain sacrifices have to be made. So it's so much as a spouse that we have to endure and have to deal with that we just stay silent and just do it. So it's just not, I don't want it to be like we're bashing the military. I kid you not, there's things that I've gained a lot of experience. I've gained a lot of friendship that I have for a lifetime. I've gained a lot of benefits through this military, you know, lifestyle. I could never thank my husband enough for that experience because of if I never did it, I don't think I would ever get certain experiences that I did, good, bad, in between, whatever it is. But I feel is the military a good job? Yes. But to each his own. Everybody have their own opinion. Everybody, you know, think differently. So I can't think for everybody. The most I could do is just give a platform for everybody to feel comfortable and feel like, you know what? I do have somebody probably have word of wisdom for, like, let's say somebody's a new spouse in the military. Well, I have some word of wisdom for you. You know, keep faith, stay strong. And let's say somebody's just missing their families. How do you cope with being so far away and your husband is all the way in Poland? You can't speak to him because the hour span, you can't speak to family. You're by yourself. And guess what? Some people probably go through depression. You know, they go through anxiety because there's nobody there. And then especially around the holidays, you know what I'm saying? Like that's even more tough. You don't have nobody. And you keep closed in. And I think for me, another reason why I did it, because of me growing up, I was always a closed in person. I don't talk about a lot. So me, like I stated from earlier, me learning to open up, learning who Octavia is. I'm learning that I'm speaking more, I'm talking more. And I feel like, okay, you know what? Maybe I can be the voice to help others speak more and feel comfortable when it comes to being a spouse.
That actually sounds amazing. That sounds great. I rock with it. But we need to do a part two. We definitely need to do a part two. Like, or if you want to join one of my panels and all that, like, I think you'll be a perfect fit and all that. So, but I do have to go because I'm hungry. so, so,
You're
so
fine.
I appreciate you. Hopefully, we do a part two, or hopefully, we have like a update on like your podcast and everything. But tell the world what you got going on right now that you want them to embrace or endorse.
As in like my situation.
Nah, I'm saying your podcast, anything.
I would say if I had to say something, be yourself. Um, don't, and I'm only saying this because of my experience. Be yourself. Yes, you're gonna feel a way if somebody looks at you different, or especially when you're going further up in a certain goal on a certain path in life. Learn that not every step is meant to go to that next chapter. Not every character is going to go in that next book. It's okay if that person is not this. And don't get me wrong, it's hard. Like, I lost my mom's twin sister this year. And just the thought of thinking that, wow, I really have to enter into a new chapter without that person. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's easy. It's not easy. It's the hardest thing ever, especially if it's somebody you truly love. But the hardest pill to swallow is to know we have to move on. I'm not saying we have to let them go. No, because they'll always be in our heart. They'll always be in our minds spiritually. But we're still alive, and we can't stay on that bottom step. We got to continue going. And I think that's the hardest part for a lot of people in life is we get so comfortable there that we don't know what we're missing when we go further up or when we go further in our path. And you can still carry those people within you. It's just because we are physical beings now on this earth, and that physical person or thing is not there, it's just so hard to detach from it. But I would just tell anybody, continue being who you are. I think I had a cousin, she said it. I think she has a podcast. She said it, and it hit me because it's true. Everybody try to look at a blueprint to copy it, but each of us don't realize we have our own blueprint. So your blueprint is different from mine. I can't judge you. I can't look at you different because your path is different from mine, and that's okay. As long as I give you, I could give you opinions, I could give you advice, I still cheer you on to your goals. I can't sit here and it's a hard thing because I'm just coming out of it because I look for validation from a lot of people, but I'm coming out of that shell where it's like, I don't need your validation. Unless it's from God, I don't need your validation. And that's where I'm at in the process of learning to move on in my goals, do what I have to do for Octavia first. Always put yourself first.
Right. Right.
Once you put yourself first, and once you're able to have that mentality and you're able to control your mentality, don't not letting nobody else control it. You able to control it because your mind is a powerful tool. And you could if you let somebody into your mindset, they can crumble that and your mindset is gone. And I've learned that from experience, and I'm in the process of trying to come out where I control my mind because this is my life. So I will always tell anybody, don't look at others as if you're not enough or you didn't do this. Oh, why did this person go ahead of me? We was in the same class. It don't matter. Everybody's goal is different. Everybody's path is different. Timmy could have made $1 million 2 years. It took you 10 years. It's okay. So that's what I would have to say.
That's
Just
amazing.
be yourself.
That's amazing.